Cajun Cardboard, coming at you from the great state of Louisiana, and I'm excited about today's video. It's time to revisit a video that I did almost 60 days ago exactly. The name of the video was my Topps Chrome LeBron James Dilemma. If you missed that video, I highly suggest you pause this and go watch that video, because it's going to make a lot more sense if you had watched the first one. It got 1,162 views, so a little over 1,000 views, but it got 106 comments, because I think a lot of people are sitting in a very similar situation to me, maybe not with 2003 Topps Chrome LeBron base rookies, but maybe other cards like that, Zion's, Doncic base rookies, Trae Young base rookies, Morant's, etc. Go down the list ad nauseum. Maybe it's Kobe, 96 Topps Chromes. But here's a picture of that video. It's right here on your screen. It says, "I need your help, my LeBron James Topps Chrome Dilemma." 60 days ago, I was sitting on a ton of LeBron James Topps Chrome. Let me pull them up. Here's a picture of it. This is what's sitting in my vault. PSA 10s, BGS 9.5s, PSA 9s ad nauseum, and then a couple of BGS 9s. Here is the breakdown of what I held, and this was the spreadsheet that I shared in that video about 60 days ago, about 2 months ago in mid-August, showing you I had 3 PSA 10s, 4 BGS 9.5s, so 7 gems combined, 16 PSA 9s. I'm not sure why, but I chose to put my money in the PSA 9s. I thought they seemed cheap in relation to the 10s because the 10s had run so much. And then I've got 3 BGS 9s as well, which I actually pulled out of packs back in 2003. I didn't buy those BGS 9s. I actually pulled them. Yes, that's how old I am. The chart shows you what the value of these 4 cards and these 4 grades was in mid-August. Then it multiplies that value by the total quantity to give you the total value of those cards. At that time, my 26 LeBron James Topps Chrome base rookie cards were valued at $67,000. And then sadly, teardrop emoji, I also showed you what those 26 cards were worth at the peak when I should have sold them, and I didn't. Here at $365,000. Yes, that's $250,000. That was left on the table. That's not the worst business decision I've made in the hobby. You win some, you lose some. And then I showed you kind of what, if the cards went up by 50% from where they were valued in August, how much that would actually increase the value of my $67,000. So if it went up 50%, if those cards went up 50% based on how many of each quantity I had, there is the growth, the total growth that I would experience. Is 50% doable? I thought it was going to be a big year for LeBron. I still do. Nothing has changed from what I posed and what I postured in that video, but I solicited input from the hobby, from the people watching. I wanted to know what you would do if you were sitting in my situation, sitting on 26 base LeBron James Chrome rookie cards as shown on your screen. So I'll put some questions down here. I asked, should I let it run? PSA 10 at that point was up 8.49% just over the past 30 days, going back into mid-July, almost to the National. Should I buy more? The PSA 10 had come down 50% in the last year, so I was asking myself, I want to get out because it's boring, I want to get out because it's dropping, but why am I selling the dip? It didn't make any sense. And then the question, of course, was, let's say I do get out. Let's say I take the advice. I will be honest with you, 85% of the people said sell the cards. And I ignored that advice. A few people said buy more. Very few people said buy more, right? A few people said sell LeBron base Chrome rookies, but go buy a big LeBron. And then some people said just sit tight, just hold them. There's no reason to sell something that went down 48.86% over the last 12 months. And I was kind of with those people. So I kind of split the difference. And I'll just give you a heads up of what I did. I went out and I bought a big LeBron, but I did not sell any of the Topps Chrome LeBrons. So I took a little bit of advice from both sides. I bought a monstrous in the PWCC Premier, I bought a black refractor minimum gem BGS 9.5 LeBron. These are serial numbered to 500. So I did double down in one respect in that I bought back into the LeBron market. But what I didn't do was sell any of these boring 2003 Topps Chrome base rookie cards because I really feel confidently that there was no worse time to sell that card. It just seemed like the worst possible time to sell it. So I ignored some of the advice, but I took pieces of two others. You know, one was hold the stuff, and one was go buy a bigger, more rare, scarce LeBron that means more. So that's where I was at 60 days ago. So what I've done here is, and again, just to give you a look, so from the time, this is my purchase here. So I bought this black refractor on August 18th, which is exactly the same day that video aired. It wasn't when I recorded the video, it was a few days before that I recorded, but that was the date that the video aired, on August 18th. So on that same day that video went public, I purchased this, the black refractor that I just showed you in my vault at $66K in the PWCC Premier Auction. Card Ladder says that's gone down a little bit. Let's look at the index for LeBron cards. Believe it or not, over the last 3 months, the LeBron index has continued to go down 7.84%. So you would think that the Topps Chrome cards would also have continued to go down. I would have made a bad decision and I would have held cards I never should have held. But that's not the case, because you got to remember, the index, especially the LeBron index, is comprised of 1,034 different cards in different grades, in different categories, from different years and different products. That mean different things with different populations. Need I go on? Indexes are just a big picture macro look at a big group of constituent cards. It's not going to be indicative of one particular card which comprises that index. So that's what's happened in the LeBron index. One would believe that the black refractor is worth less today than what I paid for it in August. I don't have an answer for you on that because another one has not sold since I bought mine. That's fine. It was a very long-term hold anyway, but the index is down. So the question of the day is, we want to know what has happened since then. Where are we 60 days later? In that video, I said, I'm going to revisit this issue and look at this video and see where I stand around Halloween. That's what I ultimately ended up deciding to do with these Topps Chrome LeBrons. And so I've got a surprise. I've recreated the exact same chart, and here's where we're at. Okay, so stay with me. This is the same chart 60 days later, except I've added 2 columns, right? So we have still the value of the cards individually, and then the total value, and there was my total value of these 26 LeBron cards in August, on August 18th, or shortly before that. Here is the value of those cards today. The PSA 10 is up about 900 bucks, and I'm basing this on Card Ladder, and I'm going to the last 2 weeks, and I'm taking the number of sales, and I'm getting an average, okay? So it's not like I'm not going crazy in depth here. I'm just using the last 2 weeks. 5 is enough to get an average. The last one did sell for $7,700, but I'm taking the average. 5 of them have sold for an $8,100 average. If we go back here, we plug in that 8,100. That's up about 900 bucks from what it was on August 18th. Okay, the card actually got higher than that, if I recall. Hang on, let me pull that up because I think it did. If we go look at the last month, yeah. So the card at one point hit almost $10,000, $1 short of $10,000. Of course, that's kind of an outlier, but the card also hit 9,353. If we look at 3 months, I'm trying to find August 18th. Here's where the video came out approximately, right there, okay? So the video probably came out about right there. So everything looks pretty good for PSA 10s since then, okay? Let's look at PSA 9s. It was 31.18 on August 18th. Today, 34.19. Again, fantastic. It's up exactly $301, okay? So another win for the PSA 9. Here is the for the BGS 9.5. Sorry, that was for the BGS 9.5. Up 300 bucks, 301 bucks. PSA 9 is where I have most of my holdings. As you can see, the total value of my PSA 9s exceeds my PSA 10s, and it exceeds my BGS 9.5s. That's where the bulk of my investment was for whatever reason. Normally, I'm a gems only snob. I know, I don't know what I was thinking. But that card is also up about 70 bucks on average, so just a slight movement there. Again, people are looking for the lower pop stuff. Not that PSA 10 or BGS 9.5 base Chrome LeBrons are low pop, but they're lower, or at least they're would be more highly sought after by grade snobs than they would than would the PSA 9s and the BGS 9s. So what really skews? So that one's up about 70 bucks. What really skews our analysis here is the BGS 9 is inexplicably down almost $300, which is really weird. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me why the other 3 grades would be up, but the BGS 9 is down. That's the BGS 9. Again, it looks about even. It's actually up 2% over the last 3 months, but when I plugged in, the last 2 weeks, that's what we've got for an average of 1572 over 5 sales. But you've seen some of them are actually up near 1800, which would have been, about what they were worth back when I did it in August, right? So the BGS 9s are down. So I'm down in the BGS 9s by about 800 bucks. I'm up over $1,000 on the PSA 9s. I was hoping for better results there. I'm up about $1,200 on the BGS 9.5s, and I'm up a little bit shy of $3,000 on the PSA 10s. So by holding these few months, I've actually turned this around. Let me get rid of these decimals. I meant to get rid of those decimals. You don't need, whoops, wrong way. I'm actually up a little bit over $4,000, so not bad. Still a very far cry from where they were when they were at peak. Again, nobody ever gets the peak, right? But I'm up $4,000. So here we are 60 days later. That's it. I just wanted to share that with you guys. Again, this is not like super intense, detailed math. I know some of you math nerds are going to have a problem with me just using an average of the last 2 weeks, but I didn't want to put too much thought into it. I just want to take a quick snapshot of where things are 60 days later. I know so many of you engaged in that first video and had something to say about it. Buy, sell, hold, buy this, change these into this, go here, do that. I still have faith in Lebron. I still have faith in the hobby generally. I'm very bullish on the hobby generally speaking, whether it be 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I do think we're in a little bit of a volatile period now where we're really still figuring out the bottom on a lot of cards that are out there, and I'm not sure we're there on a lot of the cards. But this one, I feel pretty confident about. We're either at or near the bottom. And as you can see, we've seen a little tiny uptick. And again, it's not been a perfect up and to the right, but it's a little bit of an uptick, generally speaking, for the 2003 Topps Chrome LeBron base card. Again, do I wish I had that $71,000 in a really cool Michael Jordan card or two? Yeah, I absolutely do. But I don't like taking losses. I'm very stubborn. I'm obstinate when it comes to that. I rarely take my own advice, which is never look at what you're into it for. I'm just obstinate and stubborn, and I hate losing. So sometimes I just want to hold through and then hope it comes out on the other side. Whether that will end up being a good decision or not, I don't know. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. But it looks so far so good for 60 days. I've got to imagine once the season starts and once he approaches this scoring record, interest in his cards will go up. Again, we all know that the hype that leads up to these milestones is usually a good thing for card prices. Achieving the milestone is not necessarily a good thing because the market gets flooded with supply. And we see it all the time. We saw it with Giannis after his title in MVP. We saw it with Curry after his most recent title. We saw it with Brady. We see it with Mahomes. We see it with the best of the best. It's just one of those things. When the market is flooded with supply, the value of the cards for that particular player tend to go down because there's so many options to choose for. The auctions and the bids are less competitive because you don't have to pick and choose. There's so much available. It's like a huge buffet. That's kind of where we're at 60 days later. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you're not watching me on the Luka Nation Network, go subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get all of my videos that appear on the Luka Nation Network, which is about 3 or 4 or 5 a week. Stay tuned, of course, to this channel. This is going to be a channel where I focus a little bit more on some of my personal collecting journey. I will have some pretty interesting fantasy basketball stuff. I've got some soccer content that's coming out. I do some just pure NBA content on my channel. I open packs occasionally. I don't like to throw money to the wind, but I'll do it because I love you guys, and I'm happy for you guys that are watching to enjoy my misery because I have the worst pack luck in the world. I also share PSA grade reveal videos, which you guys seem to like a lot because I go super quick, and I've got all kinds of cards at PSA at all times, so I'm always getting those back. And then, of course, I share my mail days so you guys can see what I'm investing my money in. You'll never hear me tell you what to go buy. In fact, hopefully you didn't hear anything on this video telling you to go buy or go sell anything. I don't think I'll ever say words like that. unless it's Matthew Dellavedova or somebody like that I just despise. But I will tell you who I'm putting my money into, or who I think I'm going to sell and why. And you can choose to listen or ignore, or comment that I'm an idiot or comment that I'm intelligent. You can do any of the above. Just keep it clean and classy so Miss Cajun doesn't get upset and Cajun Jr. doesn't see nasty comments about his dad. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. As always, comment below. Let me know what you think about my strategy so far. It's a pretty basic, simple strategy. Just hold these bad boys for 60 days. I'll tell you right now, you can comment below on what you would do right now if you were me, but I'm probably going to hold these things through Christmas. Hope that the Lakers are a little bit more relevant than they were last year. They can't be less relevant. And then just watch LeBron as he approaches that record. I'm a big believer in, sell the hype and buy the news. Basically sell as we enter that run up to the scoring record the few weeks before, because every talking head on sports TV and radio and hobby content creators and everybody in the hobby, all they're going to be talking about is LeBron. And as we start approaching that milestone, I'm going to take a very close look at getting out of some of these cards and maybe putting that money into somebody who's not on the radar. I don't know what that would be. It's just too far into the future. So probably around beginning of January, I'll revisit again where we're at, and I'll do a revised spreadsheet again if that's something that you guys are still interested in. Let me know in the comments below. I always appreciate you guys watching. You could choose to watch any videos on YouTube that you want, and you've chosen to watch this one, especially if you're watching it till the end. Keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby, and peace.